Imagine waking up one morning, checking your phone and seeing a countdown. Not a social media timer, but the exact number of days, hours, and minutes you have left to live. How would that knowledge shape your life? Would you live freely or count down in fear? Would knowing your death date make life more meaningful or meaningless? Friends, we humans, we're curious creatures. But what happens when knowledge comes at such a fundamental existential price? If you knew exactly when you die, would you live without fear? Or would the knowledge consume you? Would you embrace every remaining moment, living life to the absolute fullest? Or would the weight of that knowledge crush you, turning every day into a slow, agonizing countdown to oblivion? It has the power to both liberate and imprison, to embolden and to terrify. But one thing's for certain, it would fundamentally change who we are as individuals. Now, let's zoom out from the individual and consider the societal implications. If everyone had an expiration date stamped on their existence, society itself would shift in unimaginable ways. Would you fall in love with someone knowing they had months left to live? Would dating apps filter potential partners based on their remaining time? The very foundations of our legal systems, our social contracts, even our understanding of right and wrong would be shaken to their core. Wall Street to Washington, the collapse of systems. If death is predictable, financial systems, governments and power structures will crumble. Would banks even grant mortgages to those with a short lifespan? Would governments create policies favoring the long-lived and abandon those with days left? The balance of power would shift dramatically, creating a world where the long-lived rule and the short-lived are left to fend for themselves. The illusion of choice-free will in a predetermined world. We make choices, we chase dreams, we strive for a better tomorrow. But in a world where your death date is predetermined, do you have any real choices left? Would you still chase your dreams? Would you still strive for a better future, knowing that you might not be around to see it? Does free will exist in a world where death is unavoidable? The choice is yours, living in the shadow of knowledge. Some might argue that this knowledge would bring peace, allowing us to live our remaining days to the fullest. Others would say it would be a curse, a constant reminder of our mortality, casting a shadow over every aspect of our lives. So I ask you, my friends, if given the choice, would you want to know? Would knowing your death date make you live a better life, a more meaningful life? Or would it simply rob you of the precious gift of uncertainty? We've journeyed through a world transformed by the knowledge of death. But the question remains, would you want to know your exact death date? Why or why not? Would people live more freely, embracing each day as a gift? Or would fear paralyze us, turning us into prisoners of our own mortality? The human spirit is resilient. We find ways to adapt, to overcome, to find meaning even in the face of the unknown. And that, perhaps, is the most profound truth of all.